Hello guys, welcome back to 026 Motoring once again, and in today's episode I want to give you a procedure or tell you the most important things you should consider when purchasing your first car. In this video I'm going to talk about foreign used cars, that is a fresh import. So you've just checked into a dealership and you want to purchase your first car. It may not be your first car necessarily, but you'll be the first owner in the Kenyan market. So welcome to this video. If you're new to 026 Motoring, remember to subscribe to this channel because we not only give you car reviews but we also give you car maintenance tips. So this video basically is going to consider fresh imports, what most probably in the Kenyan market currently we're looking at maybe 2016 or 2017 units. Of course, I'll prepare another video for a local used car. Basically, all you need to know or what you should check when purchasing a local used car, because a lot goes into purchasing a local used car compared to a foreign used car. So the number one thing you should consider and make sure that you are getting it right is the budget. Now the budget will actually give you an insight of the cars that you will actually afford. For example, if you want to purchase a small hatchback, that is a super mini, currently the pricing for something like a Toyota Vitz, a Honda Fit, a Mazda Demio, or something like a Suzuki Swift hovers around 1.1 million to 1.2 million shillings. So if you have your budget of 1.2 million shillings, that will tell you that the cars that you will be able to manage or that are within your financial grasp. If for example you have 2 million shillings and you want a hatchback or something like a 1.8 million, your options will be limited to something like a Toyota Auris, Subaru Impreza, or even a Mazda Xela. If you want a pickup, a double cab or a single cab, most probably you should know that 2016 currently the prices of something like a Toyota Hilux or something like a Ford Ranger is now approaching 5 million to 5.5 million shillings. So getting the budget right will actually help you know the kind of cars that will fall within your financial grasp. So that is the factor number one you should consider before getting into the market. The reason why you should get your budget right is if you want, let me say, a small super mini and maybe your budget is below 1 million, chances are that when you get into the market and you find that your budget is not going to get you that car, the seller may actually convince you to take something bigger, which is not what you intentionally or traditionally wanted to take home. So it's very important to check various marketing platforms and to know how the current car prices look like. Another factor that is actually very important that you should consider is the cost of maintenance of that car. Now, many people will not be looking at the cost of maintenance when they are budgeting for that car. For example, if you are someone who's going to buy something like a BMW 3 Series, something like a Mercedes C-Class, or something like a Volkswagen Passat, you should know that their maintenance is not going to be at the same level with something like a Toyota Allion or even a Toyota Premio, even if both are sedans. So understanding the cost of maintenance actually will be very important. So you should actually do some research about the spare parts availability, the cost of servicing, and actually the cost of spare parts, yes, and the servicing element, even the cost of fueling will actually be something that I could also rank under the maintenance element. The reason cost of maintenance should actually be on top of your priority list is because you don't want to buy something that is going to spend most of its time in garages because you can't afford labor or you can't afford spare parts, or maybe you leave it on stone. So it's very important to actually look at the maintenance element of a car before you consider that specific car. Now the next factor you should consider is actually the use of the car. Now if you are into delivery business, you have a small shop, maybe when mkulima mdogo, cars like the Toyota Probox, the Nissan NV200, the Toyota Townes should be something that should be the cars that should be making their way into your priority list. If for example you are running some hardware or you do some agriculture or you are a farmer, something like this Toyota Hilux or something like an Isuzu D-Max. It should be cars that should be on your priority list. If you want a simple car that should get you from point A to B, maybe even the super minis, the small Dudus, Honda Fits, Nissan Notes, those are the first you should consider. If you are a family person and you need space, the MPVs, multi-purpose vehicle, something like a Toyota Noah, Honda Step Wagon, those are the cars that you'll be making your list. If, for example, you want a crossover, something that is raced, you should be looking at cars like the Subaru Forester, X-Trail, a Skoda Outlander, or even something like a CX-5. So understanding the use of that car is very important. That actually helps you say that in case you get into the market and your budget is a good one, it actually helps you. Sometime back we went in shopping for a sedan. We wanted that was, I think, a Toyota Crown, and because that car actually we missed out what we wanted, the buyer ended up going home with a Subaru Legacy station wagon, and that is not what they wanted. So basically, before you get into the market, ensure that you understand the needs of that car. You don't want to go into the market to shop for a Toyota Probox and you go home with a Toyota Vitz, even if they are at the same price range, because the Toyota Vitz is not going to serve as a van. Now, something that is also pretty critical you should consider is fuel economy. Now, when you're purchasing a car, fuel is one of the expenses that you'll be footing daily. Immediately you fire up the car and move, the car consumes fuel. So if you want a very efficient car you should actually look at small hatchbacks. That's something that I've already mentioned. If you want something that is powerful, of course you have to look at turbocharged cars or cars with bigger displacements. Now, for example, if you have a 1 million, 1.1, 1.2 million, and you want something that is fuel efficient, your options actually will be very limited to the small super minis I've already mentioned. You don't want to go into the market with 1.2 million shillings and for example you want a Mazda Demio diesel, or you want the petrol or a Honda Fit, and you end up going home with a used Toyota Mark X, even if it's a bigger car, because you're going to pay a lot to run that 2.5 liter V6. So fuel economy is something that you should actually consider before purchasing a car, because each day when you start the car, fuel consumption is something that is going to affect you on a daily basis. Something you should look at is the user reviews of that specific car. Most probably there are high chances that you are not the first person owning that car in the Kenyan market. So even if it's a rare car, there are high chances that someone has already owned it here or even overseas. So before purchasing that car, you should actually hit online platforms, car review sites. Something like 0 to 60 Motoring is a very good resourceful platform to start with. You will actually get to learn how that specific car stacks up or compares with its rivals, the cost of ownership, fuel economy, power ratings, and what to expect in the reliability. That is the ownership cost element. So checking out user reviews actually prepares you for that ownership journey. So it's something you should actually consider. So those are the main factors you should consider when you're purchasing a car. Actually, there are other factors, because many people purchase cars because of different reasons. But the budgeting element, the use of the car, the maintenance aspect of the car, that is the spare parts availability, the costing and the running cost, something like fuel economy, and the costing of the car. Those are actually very important elements you should consider when you are purchasing a car. Other factors such things like performance. Of course, you know that a bigger displacement engine will actually be a better performer. If, for example, you are living in places where the roads are not good, of course you should consider cars that are actually have good ground clearance. If you are a family person, get something that is spacious. If you want something that is fuel efficient, smaller engines. I think those factors can actually help you shape up your decision. In case you have a question about cars generally, or you want us to help you source a car, you can always ring us either to organize on how to go about that process. So that's all for today, guys. In case of any question, you can always ring us, so that we help you with car information. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.